Wow, 1985. Wow.
35 years, yeah.
Now, what Phil's probably not going to tell you is that he also played for the University of South Carolina, and then I think you moved over there to Newberry.
Newberry College, right. I finished Newberry, played the last 2 years there. I did. Enjoyed both places. Still a Gamecock and a Wolf now.
All righty.
Not an Indian anymore, it's a Wolf now.
It's a Wolf.
It's a Wolf, yeah. But, yeah, I like both and enjoyed playing. I just had enough sense to know that I'd play more at Newberry than at South Carolina.
There you go.
At that period of time. That was a long time ago, though.
Well, you got to work with Newberry College
I did.
throughout your career.
I did. After I'd retired from the public schools and did some private school work, too, I moved back to Newberry, which is my hometown, and I did an interim AD at the Newberry College there for a while, so got a little of that in, too.
Well, you did some coaching, I believe, Saluda, Chester?
I did. I coached basketball, in track too, but I coached basketball at Saluda High School and Chester High School, and then ended up in administration at Somerville and in Irmo. So I spent my last 20 years in public schools at Irmo, and Irmo High School predominantly. Yeah.
Well, knowing your knowledge of the game, that kind of helps you as being a member of the All-Selection Committee.
Well, I hope so. I've been around it all my life. I started playing pretty young and even played in the service. I was in the Marine Corps a couple of years, played some regimental ball there, and then actually when I got out and started work, I played textile league ball, which is pretty popular in the upper state of South Carolina back in that era, in the 50s and 60s, and probably petered out about the 70s.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the game has changed. It's a lot faster. It's a lot bigger. Players are a lot stronger. We'll have to get you back on another broadcast to talk about that, maybe.
Well, it's definitely changed since I played. We were talking about it just a while ago, and it's not the same game now. Not
we
at all.
appreciate your contribution. Since 1985, he's been here courtside, helping out, choosing that all-tournament team. Hey, we'll be back with more from Myrtle Beach. I'm Jack Murphy for VisitMyrtleBeach.com.
My family keeps me on the go. And as fellow community members, HTC believes friends and neighbors deserve services that keep the day running smoothly. No matter where life takes me, HTC keeps me connected by providing world-class technology to Horry and Georgetown counties. Because you are here, and so are we. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at VisitMyrtleBeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic, America's finest holiday basketball tournament. I'm Lane Harris, joined courtside here by Wayne Gray, and we're set to bring you an excellent basketball game between the Millennium Tigers out of Goodyear, Arizona versus the Baltimore Poly Engineers out of Baltimore, Maryland. And along my broadcast partner, Wayne Gray, has been associated with this tournament ever since I was back in 1983, and Kind of showing our age, Wayne, as we roll into the 39th Annual Classic. Always some of the best basketball.
Yeah, impressive. 39 years of one of the best high school basketball tournaments in the country, Beach Ball Classic here in Myrtle Beach. It's been a great event so far, and it's going to be a great game tonight.
It's going to be a great game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this pause for the cause. Beach Ball Classic coming your way next.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Lane Harrison, Wayne Gray, courtside here inside the Lambeau Schwartz Arena in the Sun Fun City, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're set for action between the Baltimore Poly Engineers and the Millennium Tigers. Tigers led by head coach Ty Admonson coming to this game with a 10-3 record. Baltimore Poly with a 5-1 record. These teams got to this point. They won their first round game. They're in the 5th place consolation bracket. Millennium won 65-63 over University out of West Virginia, and then lost to number 9 ranked Long Island Lutheran back on Saturday by a 66-41 score. Baltimore Poly won their first round game 56-46 over Harvard Westlake out of California, then lost on Saturday 62-56 to St. John's. And in that game, Wayne Gray, Brandon Murray from Baltimore Poly, he was really stymied by the St. John's defense. This St. John's team really did a great job of playing zone defense and took them out. Kind of look for Millennium to do the same thing here today.
Yeah, as I was watching the Baltimore Poly first game, St. John's assistant coaches were scouting the game, and they really clamped down on their scorer, Brandon Murray, who's still the leading scorer for Baltimore Poly after 2 games with 21 points a game.
And jumping center, Deron Holmes, the leading scorer for the Tigers, averaging 24 points a game, 13 rebounds a game. He was shut down to only 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 turnovers in their second round loss to Long Island Lutheran. We're underway here. 2 16-minute halves for the Beach Ball Classic. So glad you're with us today on Stadium. Holmes holds out at the top of the key, guarded by Lewis. Justice Jackson comes around the corner, far away, jump shot, up and good from the elbow, 2-0.
Baltimore Poly in man-to-man, but that was good patience by Millennium to find the open jump shooter. And there's man-to-man as well.
Raheem Ali hands it off to the freshman, Kwame Evans. They move it around the horn, and they get it to Ali on the wing. Long jump shot on Justin Lewis, the 6'8 senior, knocks it down to take a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, listed at 6'10 in the program. He's already signed with Marquette, really good basketball player, can play outside and inside.
Try to set the starting lineups for you as we go here. Robbie DeVries, Jalen Early, Justice Jackson, Justice Marmara, and Deron Holmes for the Tigers. Bryce Lindsey, Raheem Ali, Kwame Evans, Justin Lewis, and Brandon Murray for the Engineers. Rebound ripped down there by Justin Lewis. He gets it ahead to Brandon Murray. The 6'5" goes in for a nice soft layup.
Really been impressed with Brandon Murray during this tournament. Big size, got a big trunk, if you will, but very athletic. There you saw how he's able to get to the basket easy.
Man-to-man pressure. Gets it to Mamara, who goes up high off the glass and kisses it home. We got a lost shoe here. The freshman, Kwame Evans, a 6'8" freshman. Needs to tie him up a little tighter. I don't understand how kids can play basketball and not tie their shoes up nice and tight.
Kwame Evans, a freshman, already, though, has offers from Virginia Tech, DePaul, and Auburn. And Coach Tony Bennett, the reigning national championship coach, is in the house tonight recruiting and scouting.
A floater, running floater, goes for the backboard, does Murray, but misses it, kicks it back out, gets his own offensive rebound. Back out front to Ali.
Little zone action here by Millennium, a 2-3, almost a matchup zone.
That's what St. John's did to him. The freshman from the wing, up, no good. Rebound ripped down by DeVries. Averaging 12 points and 5 assists per game. Left-handed dribble. Kicks it to Mamara in the corner. Back out front to Holmes. Good man-to-man pressure by the Engineers. Tigers taking their time. Jump shot from the top of the key, no good. Battle underneath. Come away with Justin Lewis. Behind the back dribble. Manned up out front by Holmes. Get it to Ali. He spins in the lane, got nowhere to go. Lewis goes baseline. Shot's going to be way over the back of the rim. Mamara pulls down the rebound. Gets it ahead. Jackson over to DeVries. Off the front of the rim, no good. DeVries gets his own rebound. Drops it off inside to the big man, and it's stolen away by Justin Lewis.
Yeah. 23 to run for Millennium Junior, one of the top 30 juniors in the country.
Bryce Lindsey, the 6-foot sophomore, going to get called for a turnover right here at midcourt, right in front of our broadcast position here. Early Baltimore Poly 5-4 lead with 13:07 to go in the first half. Engineers coming to this game with a 5-1 record. Millennium, the Tigers, 10-3. Mamara can't get the shot to go, falls down into a heap at the baseline. And here comes Evans. Kicks it over to his senior counterpart Murray in the corner. No good on the jump shot. And they push it off. Mamara's going to go up with an easy left-handed layup.
Great execution there by Justice Jackson as he takes it all the way to the basket. As he's up in the air, realizes I need to just drop it off to my teammate. Nice decision there by the point guard.
Offensive action, but this Baltimore Poly team, this is the defense they saw against St. John's on Saturday in their loss, and they were hesitant to take the shot. They've got good outside shooters, according to head coach Sam Brand, but they have not been able to knock down the outside shot so far today. DeVries pushes ahead to Holmes. Holmes going to throw up a jump shot, no good. Gets his own rebound, knocked away into the hands of Brandon Murray. Murray, alley-oop pass, up and in, and good for Justin Lewis.
Justin Lewis, 6'10", headed to Marquette. Man, it's just got great control with his body. It's going to be a good matchup between the senior number 10 and the junior number 23, Deron Holmes from Millennium.
Those two are matched up out on the wing. DeVries thinks about one from the top of the key, drives inside. Nice scoop shot underneath the arm of Justin Lewis for two.
Great athletic ability there by number 5, Robbie DeVries, 6'4" senior. Millennium in a full court press, zone press.
8-7 lead for the Tigers. They get it in the corner. Swing it way on the other side. Lindsey's got long range, but off the back of the rim, no good. Lindsey knocked down a handful of three-pointers in their loss to St. John's, some from almost 30 feet out. That'll take us to our first media timeout. 11:05 to go. Millennium with an 8-7 lead over Baltimore Poly. Back with more of the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic right after this.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
You're watching the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, live on Stadium. So glad you're with us tonight. Lane Harris, Wayne Gray here courtside at the Lambeau Schwartz Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. 8-7 Millennium with an early lead over Baltimore Poly. Stay tuned immediately following the game as we select the HTC Player of the Game Award winner. The broadcast crew will select the premier performer in today's game to be honored by HTC. This is life. Connect with it. Find out more by visiting htcconnect.com.
And that was a quick 5 minutes. The format, 2 16-minute halves as opposed to a traditional 4 8-minute quarters. Millennium taking the ball out underneath their basket.
And again, man-to-man by Baltimore Poly. Good matchup out front as Raymond English, 5'10 junior, is coming to the game off the bench for Sam Brand. Going to get a 5-second call as he ties up Justice Jackson. It's going to be his second turnover of the game. Let's take a look at some of the first media timeout stats, Wayne.
Very even between the two teams. You expect 8-7 score. Both teams taking care of the ball, though. Only one turnover for each team now.
Well, two after
that turnover there by Justice Jackson.
Ali holds out front. Brandon Murray. Ali and Murray pay pitch and catch. Murray from long distance up and good. What a stroke. 6'5 senior.
Murray's not afraid to take that shot. Got a smooth stroke.
That's a pass almost intercepted by Murray. Going to be a short jump shot off the back up front of them, no good, by number 11 Coleman Fields, who just came into the game, the 6'2 junior for Coach Ty Edmondson. Lewis holds up front, gets it down on the baseline to number 5 Josiah Lamouth, who just came into the game. He gets fouled. He's going to go up and shoot 2.
Off the missed shot, Millennium falls back into kind of a 3/4 zone press, and then they drop back into that zone, but Poly does a good job of getting the ball in the middle of the court, forcing them to have to go out on the angles and find a man down low, and he's fouled through the free throw line.
Josiah Lamouth up and good. 6'3 senior. Up off the bench for Ty Edmondson, number 24. Justin Shorts, a 6'4 sophomore. He comes in replacing Robbie DeVries.
Like always, reading through the program.
Lamouth's second offering is no good. Rebound taken down by Jackson. Gets it ahead quickly to Mamara. Holds it on the wing, swings it across the Fields. Long distance, Jackson out front, air ball.
Yeah, just too far, quite frankly. Very good, a quick jump shot and too far away from the basket.
Mamara's going to be replaced by Jalen Early. Jalen Early was the leading scorer in their loss to Long Island Lutheran. He came off the bench, or he started, but had 5 of 7 from 3-pointers, had 15 points, led the way for the Tigers in their loss. 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals. Pressure. Stolen away by the Tigers.
Yeah, that long court pass. Deron Holmes does a good job of using his long arms to interfere with the pass.
Early gets it out front to Jackson. He thinks better of that long jump shot from the top of the key as he airmailed the last one. Guarded tightly by Ali. He gets it over to Early. Early with a left-handed dribble. Drops it off to Short at the top of the key. He looked like he walked. He did. There's a turnover for you. 11-8. Baltimore Poly with the lead. 9:29 to go here in the first half. the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic.
Great ball pressure. You know what makes these teams so good is their ability to actually switch in man-to-man. They're just able to cover guys that are bigger or smaller than them. And that's tough offense to play against when they're switching that way.
Sam Brandon and the Engineers better get used to it. They're going to see a lot of zone, and they got to start hitting some shots. English dives inside, can't get anything going. Back out front to Ali. His quick move, up and under and good.
Yeah. Ali out at the point. He's going to have to sooner or later take that jump shot from the top of the key, but that was good patience to allow ball movement to spread the defense.
2 straight possessions, 2 turnovers in a row for the Tigers. That's allowed Baltimore Poly to push it up to a 5-point lead, just under 9 minutes to go here in the first half.
Coach Edmondson, is that how you pronounce it?
Edmondson.
Edmondson saw enough, so he brings in back DeVries as starter after 2 straight turnovers.
We better pronounce it right. His wife Diane and his daughter Mia and son JT are listening back at home. He told us to tell him hi. He'd be home soon. Back in Goodyear, Arizona. Holmes dives inside, can't find anything, kicks it back out to Shorts. And they play pitch and catch with each other and can't get anything going. Holmes trying to get something going on the baseline. Good defense that time by Lewis. Cuts him off. It'll be Tigers ball.
Yeah, both Lewis and Holmes can play with their back to the basket as well as get out on the perimeter and handle the ball fairly well.
Both guys pretty much the same frame, too. Probably 185, 190 pounds for both of them. The little guy gets it. English ahead to Murray. He runs it down in the corner. Ball's knocked back into Murray's hands. He goes Euro step up in the middle of the lane. Off the front of the rim, no good. He's going to draw a foul. He'll go to the free throw line. We'll get a good look here at 6'5" senior Brandon Murray. There's a good look, coach, at Ty Amundsen.
Frustrated that he didn't get a foul on the other end. He felt like Holmes was getting pushed, which forced the turnover.
That's exactly what he's doing over there. Very animated with the official. 3-time state coach of the year, 9-time region coach of the year. He's been to 5 state championships. He's won 3 in his 3rd year at Millennium High School in Goodyear, Arizona. 20th season coaching overall.
You know, what's impressive about the teams in this tournament, 39th annual, is 8 of the 16 teams are #1 from their respective states.
Last year, this Tiger team, after Murray knocks down 2 free throws to push it up to a 15-8 lead, 7-point lead, the biggest of the game so far for the Engineers.
Poly falling back into a little 2-3 zone.
DeVries back into the game. Mamara gets it in the corner to Holmes. Back to Mamara. His shot's going to not hit anything and bounce out of bounds. Another air ball, and Mamara's claiming he got hit on the elbow.
And number 20 for Baltimore Poly substituted in the game. I'm looking at the program, Adam Walden, 6'10", sophomore.
And he's got a big body, too. Lamuth back out front to Murray, who mans the point at 6'5". Bright salmon tennis shoes. All these kids have some bright shoes on tonight.
Nothing for Baltimore to hurry. They're up 15-8 if Millennium is going to stay in a 2-3 zone.
Number 3 in there, Ian Wallace for the Engineers. Murray knocks down another 3. His 2nd of the first half.
Great set play. Get Murray open in the corner for a 3.
10-point lead, largest of the game for the Engineers. DeVries goes inside, gets it knocked away into the hands of Ian Wallace. Wallace gets it on the far corner to Lamuth. He goes inside, up off the backboard, no good. Wallace gets the rebound, knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with the Engineers.
With the size of Baltimore Poly and the long arms and the quick hands, if you're penetrating in there, you got to be prepared for the help defense to come and just strip you, which is what happened on that last play.
And they just took Lamuth out and put in the 6'8" freshman, Evans, who's handling the ball in the corner. Gets it over to Walden. Drop it down in the corner to Wallace. A lot of pressure by the Tigers, but a wide open shot from the corner of the wings, no good. Holmes pulls down the rebound for the Tigers, and they got to get something going offensively. It's been a while since they had a bucket. Mamara doesn't go with a 3, and they're going to get a foul call here on the freshman, Kwame Evans Jr., as Mamara went past him on the baseline. He reached out and popped him on the head. 6:45 to go. That'll take us to a media timeout. 18-8, Baltimore Poly. No, I'm sorry, no media timeout. Going to be a timeout for the Millennium Tigers. Both these teams kind of feeling each other out here in the early going, but the hot hand of Brandon Murray with 2 3-pointers leading the way for Baltimore Poly has them out to an early 10-point lead.
Poly showing aggressiveness on defense, and Millennium, though, having scouted the St. John game, saw where they went zone to force Baltimore Poly to shoot the ball. I think Baltimore Poly's been patient offensively in finding their open jump shooters.
This stadium broadcast is presented by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. Go to VisitMyrtleBeach.com, pick out your vacation, come down here to the Sun Fun City. It was a blistery 70 degrees today. Didn't see much of the sun, but actually broke a sweat out on the job site today. And if you're hunkered down in the snow up north, watching these teams play, come down and join us for the 40th Annual Beach Ball Classic, which will be held right here the same days. Everybody asks me, when's the beach ball? It's the same days every year, the 26th through the 31st. You can't miss it. Come down, great time to pick your vacation. Go to VisitMyrtleBeach.com. Pick out from a load of different resorts that you can choose from and come down here and spend the summer of 2020 with us. Play back on here at Lambeau Schwartz Arena. Tigers will inbound. Brandon Murray already with a double-figure scoring, 10 points, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, 2 of 2 free throws, 3 rebounds. DeVries gets it down in the low block to Holmes. He tries to go inside, but finds the going tough against Justin Lewis, but they're going to get Lewis with the foul.
Nice find by DeVries. One way to beat the zone is to get the ball in the middle of the court at the high post. As soon as you do, you turn, you face the basket. You're going to have to force guys to come and cover you. That gets Deron Holmes open. He makes a power move to the basket. It's going to the free throw line.
It's been a while since. It was our last media timeout when because when we went to that last media timeout, Millennium was up 8-7.
Was winning 8-7.
We're in an 11-0 run.
In about 5, Millennium has not scored in about 5 minutes.
Holmes misses the first one, hits the second one, and they break that scoring drought.
But now they're going to pick up man-to-man defense.
Into the game now for the Tigers, number 10, Zach Foster, a 5'10 senior, and he gets the defensive assignment against Bryce Lindsey. Ian Wallace holds out fronts against Mamara. Lewis trying to dribble and do something against Holmes. Can't do it, loses the ball. It's on the floor. Foster goes down to get it. We're going to have a jump ball. You can see Teron Holmes almost beating up Robbie DeVries saying, get me the ball.
Holmes putting pressure on number 10, Justin Lewis. The junior versus the senior wants to say, hey, include me in that top 100 next year in the senior class.
Evans, the freshman, inbounds underneath the basket. He's moving. That should be a travel. You're right, Wayne Gray. No call, but gets it out to Bryce Lindsey. He's quickly double-teamed. Lewis, a long 3 from the corner, no good. Battle for the ball is fought and won by Jalen Early. We're going to get a foul call here, I think, on Ian Wallace. It'll be his first foul. Team's fourth.
If Early would have been able to get out of that, Deron Holmes was streaking down the court by himself. That would have been a nasty dunk.
Letting him inbounds, and they get the ball across half court. Justice Jackson averaging 15 points and 6 assists per game. They go right back to that high post, trying to break that zone to get it down in the low block. DeVries took the advice of Holmes, and the shot up and no good by Jackson. Holmes was all the way out in the corner. Now he's having to go baseline to baseline, guarding the 6'8 Lewis. Floater inside by the freshman. Gets it ahead to Jalen Early. He's going to go in for the slam dunk here, the Beach Ball Classic.
Oh, and then he kind of gives a stare down of Justin Lewis. Good athletic ability, power move. Used his body, though, to separate himself from Justin Lewis so he can have an easy dunk.
Engineers head coach Sam Brand is frustrated over on the sideline, trying to get a couple of kids in. Early with another steal. Oh, and he came up short on the dunk. Got blocked by the rim. Wallace goes in. His shot is blocked. They're going to call a foul on Deron Holmes. That looked like a good block from here.
Looked like a clean block at our angle, as it did for Coach Ty Edmondson, as he's just really on the ref. And he'd like to have that one back.
Holmes with a long 6'9" frame, reached up and looked like he swatted that one away clean.
Yeah. On the previous offensive series, Jelon Early, he had dunked it previous to that. He jumped a little too early and just embarrassed himself a little bit.
Wallace's free throw is off the back of the rim hard, no good. A couple of subs coming in. It's going to be Raheem Ali returning, replacing Raymond English. And number 23, Brandon Murray, he'll be coming in to replace Ian Wallace if Wallace happens to make this free throw. And if he doesn't, Murray will have to sit for a while. 5 minutes exactly to go. Baltimore Poly with a 7-point lead.
Deron Holmes has stepped in the lane early. He's going to get another opportunity.
Lane violation on Holmes. Holmes averaging 24 points, 13 rebounds a game. His first round win, and their win over University of West Virginia. Out of West Virginia. Free throws up and good, and that'll allow Murray to come in. Deron Holmes had 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 blocks in a dominating performance in the 2-point win.
These teams, as you mentioned, both won their first game, lost their second one, so they're still in the winner's bracket. They'll be playing for 5th place. If whoever wins this game will play the winner of the previous game for 5th place.
Early coming against pressure, gets the ball knocked away. They get it down court quickly to Holmes. Holmes tries to go into the post, has nowhere to go, gets it back up front to Early. DeVries gets a shooter off, got his foot on the line, back of the rim, no good. Evans comes down with the rebound. He's manned up out here in front of our broadcast position by Holmes. Gets it over to Ali. Ali and Jackson, that's a good matchup there. DeVries almost with a steal. And looked like Lewis held him off.
Very physical play out on the perimeter in this man-to-man by Millennium. Justin Lewis wants the ball against the undersized DeVries.
Now they come up and they bring Holmes up to double team him. They're going to get a foul call, I hear, I think, on DeVries.
For as aggressive, go ahead, Lane.
No, you go ahead.
Well, for as aggressive play of both of these teams, neither one have fouled very much. Both only have 14 fouls.
DeVries' first foul. Evans for a long three. The left-hander's up and no good. Holmes rips down the rebound and dribbles it up himself. Looking for a guard to hand the ball off to. Lewis does a good job of checking him up defensively. Early gets it over to Jackson.
Great pressure by Baltimore Poly.
Jackson goes inside, falls back at the last minute to get some room. DeVries gets the rebound down, but it's not taken away by Lewis. He splits through the double team. Gets it ahead, into the middle to Ali. He goes up and in.
Great patience on the fast break. Started by Justin Lewis getting that rebound and separating himself between the trap.
Baltimore Poly broke about a 3-minute drought with that bucket. That'll take us to our media timeout. 3:36 to go here in the first half. Baltimore Poly still with a 10-point lead, 21-11. Back with the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic right after this. You're watching the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic here on Stadium. Production courtesy of Lucky Dog Television Productions and Coastline Sports Media. I thank all the guys and gals that spend so much of their week after Christmas with us here. It takes a lot of time and effort to put on all these games. Don Smith and all his crew, all those guys do a great job. We appreciate Jack Murphy doing a halftime interviews and everybody spending time with us here on the finest holiday basketball tournament that this country knows, the Beach Ball Classic. 21-11. Baltimore Poly over Millennium. Jackson gets it to the free throw line early. His free throw, jumper's no good. Jackson says, I'll take that rebound and put it up and in. And Jackson goes down to the floor to cut the lead down to 8.
Difference in the ball game thus far is the turnovers by Millennium 6 and 7 points on turnovers for Baltimore Poly.
Murray comes off a high screen at the elbow, tosses in the corner. Lewis with a long three.
Great two-man game on there, started by the great screen by Justin Lewis. Murray's able to penetrate into the lane. They then convene on him, leaves Lewis open in the corner, and he's able to hit that jump shot.
Jackson with a long three out front answers for the Tigers. 2:48 in the first half. Still an 8-point game. Now Tigers back to more of a man-to-man. Long backside jump shot off the back of the rim, no good by Bryce Lindsey. DeVries leaks out, and he's going to go up for the left-handed layup.
Great throw there by Deron Holmes as he's looking down court as he's coming down with the ball, finds his man streaking, throws it to him where all he has to do is catch it and go right up for a layup.
6-point game, Baltimore Poly 24-18 over Millennium. Murray drives baseline and slams it home.
He can shoot the three and penetrate and get up in the air.
This young man's going to make some college team a pretty good player. Lewis, the senior, is going to go inside. He's going to get fouled. He gets raked that time by Justice Mamara, 6'4" senior. That'll send Justin Lewis to the free throw line. There's a good look at Engineers head coach Sam Brand. Engineers from Baltimore Poly coming to this game with a 5-1 record. And if I'm not mistaken, they are 3-time defending state champs. Won it in 17, 18, and 19. They are trying to go for 4 in a row this year. Under 2 minutes to play.
Millennium staying in the man-to-man.
Lewis, high, arcing three. What a soft touch.
2 threes in a row for him. One in the corner and there from the wing.
Pushes it back up to an 11-point lead, just like that. Tigers had it down to 6. Jackson takes it on himself, up off the backboard, no good. High off the glass. Good fight for that by Mamara. He gets it over to Holmes, who comes away with it. He's going to get a foul call here, I think, on number 5, Josiah Lamuth.
Holmes showing a little frustration. He's getting kind of hammered in there when I think their game plan is him, is he's not quite as big as Lewis was. When he gets that ball, give him a lot of physical play.
Actually, they called that foul on the freshman, Kwame Evans. 5th team foul. And the Tigers back out front. Man-to-man by the Engineers. Nice jump shot out. Good touch out front by Deron Holmes.
The junior rated top 30 by ESPN's got about 25 offers already from a lot of schools on the West Coast.
Murray gets it over to Lamuth. Back to Murray. Drives baseline, throws it up off the glass with his left hand. Can't get it. Rebound run down by Lindsey. Gets it back to Ali. Swings it cross court. Lewis, who's been hot from behind the arc. Bounce pass to Ali from the top of the key. Good. You can just tell that shot was going in. 32-21.
Great bounce pass, and Ali steps into it as he catches it, elevates and shoots the ball at the top of his jump.
DeVries goes with a left-handed dribble. Tries to get it to Mamara in the corner. He reverses. And is going to get hammered inside. Foul call, I think, is going to go against Brandon Murray. No, number 5. They're going to call it on Lamuth from Baltimore Poly. And that'll send Justice Mamara, the 6'4" senior, to the free throw line.
And Mamara was in the air and really didn't have anything to do with it. Number 5, the foul on him. Lamuth kind of bailed him out with 26 seconds to go here in the first half.
Mamara with 4 points and 2 rebounds so far tonight. Free throws off the back of the rim, no good. Neither team really having a lot of luck shooting the ball, Wayne Gray. Both teams under 40%. And Millennium under 30.
Yeah, and credit that to the defensive pressure by both teams. They're going to have to shoot. You know, whoever will end up shooting the ball better is probably going to normally is going to be the winning team.
Zach Foster and Caleb Wright, a couple of seniors, come back off of Ty Amundsen's bench. Try to finish out the last 30 seconds of this first half. 10-point lead by the Engineers.
Yeah, Poly will play for the last shot.
Ooh, almost stolen that time by Holmes, he goes in the back door. Lewis drives it inside, kicks it out to his buddy, and he knocks down a three. Brandon Murray.
And that's 3 threes for Brandon Murray.
Jackson with a between-the-leg dribble, loses control. High arcing shot off the backboard, no good, and that's the way we're going to end the first half. Behind the strong shooting of Brandon Murray with 3 threes in the first half, the 6'5" senior leading the way. Baltimore Poly jumps out to a 35-22 lead, Wayne Gray. Great first half of action. Millennium with the lead going into the first media timeout, but Baltimore Poly turned it on in the second half of that first half.
Well, I think Baltimore Poly settled down the latter half of that first half. They started getting open shots, more patient with the ball. Leading the way was Brandon Murray. He hits 2 on one side and 1 on the other. And then also Justin Lewis, the 6'10" senior who's going to Marquette, shows that he can shoot the ball from the outside.
Great games earlier tonight. Coronado out of Nevada with a 1-point win over Whitney Young, and I'm sure at 1:45 Myrtle Beach and Harvard Westlake. That was a game which Myrtle Beach came into after a very impressive win back on Saturday, 79-73 over University out of West Virginia. But too much Harvard Westlake for the home standing Myrtle Beach Seahawks.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach was flat when they got started, and they just kind of got behind and couldn't ever get on any traction. Harvard Westlake's got size, those 6'8", 6'9", 6'10".
We're going to toss it over to Kevin Schneider. He's going to be talking to the head coach, Sam Brand.
We're here courtside at the half. Coach Brand, your defense was locked in here in the first half. You're up 13 at the half, 35-22.
You know, we came down here with one goal in mind, and that was to win the championship. So it's been a rough 48 hours after we feel like we gave a game away. And we have a group of guys and a program and a staff that isn't going to fold in a situation like this where we're disappointed. I knew our guys would lock in and respond the next day, and I'm happy we did it on the defensive end.
We've been saying to coaches, scouts, Brandon Murray is one of the best available in the DMV, and he's shown it here at the beach. Had a big first half with 16.
Yeah, Brandon is, I told you this last time I was here, Brandon is just doing what we watch him do every day. He's an unbelievable talent, super coachable kid, plays with a high IQ, great teammate, and he's just exhibiting some of that out here. And yeah, it's something that it blows my mind why he isn't recruited at least the mid-major level. So hopefully with this showing here, more people are seeing just how good Brandon Murray is, and I'm hoping things will change for him after this week.
Well, Brandon Murray's putting on a show. Poly's up 13. Coach, best of luck to you second half. Back to you guys.
Halftime score, 35, Baltimore Poly, Millennium 22. We'll toss it to a break and be back with more of the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic live on Stadium.
You wear many hats, and HTC knows what you need to keep the day running smoothly. You're an entertainment coordinator, appointment maker, and business superhero. You're a personal chef, chauffeur extraordinaire, and a trusted protector. No matter where life takes you, HTC keeps you connected by bringing world-class technology right here to Horry and Georgetown counties, because you are here, and so are we.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Hey everybody, Jack Murphy courtside. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. You say that a lot, don't you, Jeffrey Wisniewski?
Pretty good, pretty much, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
With the Myrtle Beach Area Hospitality Association. And it's been a great year, and we're working on 2020 already.
Yes, we certainly are. We've got lots of events scheduled already for this coming year, so we're very excited about it.
I love how you guys work so closely with the Chamber, and you promote local business. The big event's coming up the 23rd.
Yes, actually January 23rd. It's our member-to-member business expo.
It'll be happening in this building.
Absolutely, right here in this building. Still have spots available, so we'd love to have some folks get involved. It's a great way to get some business exposure,
for sure,
to a lot of local folks, and you know, there's a lot of members that come out as well, so it's well worth it.
Well, when you traditionally think Hospitality Association or the Chamber of Commerce here, you think it's all tourism related, but there's a thriving small mom and pop local regular ordinary economy that's doing well here.
A lot of our members are not actually directly in the hospitality business,
right,
but as I tell everyone, if you do business in Myrtle Beach or the Grand Strand, you're in the hospitality business.
We got a lot of rooms, had a great year last year, and I'm looking forward to a great 2020.
Absolutely, it should be fantastic.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of folks, we've talked about this previously on another broadcast, of folks that were just mainstays, always here for the tournaments, and one was a great friend of yours, Coach Grant.
Yeah, Coach Grant, you know, we lost him in July. It's not the same without him. He and I spent the entire week sitting here talking to one another and had some great conversations. Certainly miss him and his wife, Miss Abby. If she's out there watching, we're going to send my best to her
I
as well.
miss the purple boots, the purple suits. I mean, it just,
absolutely. And he was such a kind, gentle man, and just we had some great conversations, and really a lot of wisdom was passed along over those years as well.
A lot of great conversations with him. Saw Judge Ben Dunn.
Yes.
And he was talking about that they had lost some in their group this past year. Yep. Bill Zerfus was another guy, Mr. Z.
Yep. It's one of those things, unfortunately, but carry a lot of great memories of those folks.
Well, a lot more great memories for this tournament are coming up. Jeffrey, thanks for all the work you do.
Absolutely, Jack. Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm always reluctant to have him show up with me because he's always dressed better than I am. Wow. I got him on that haircut, though. We'll be back with more. For visitmyrtlebeach.com, I'm Jack Murphy. Stay tuned. More Beach Ball Classic right around the corner.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
You're watching the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, live on the stadium. Lane Harris and Wayne Gray here courtside. Baltimore Poly with a 35-22 lead over Millennium. Here's a look at your first half stats, Wayne Gray.
Well, you look what stands out. It's Baltimore Poly. Murray, the senior wingman, 5 of 8 from field goal with a total of 14 points, 3 of 4 behind the arc. On the other side of the bench, if you will, Millennium from Arizona leading their way. A very balanced scoring between all 5 guys are in the scorebook. Leading the way, though, is the Justice Jackson, the point guard at junior, with 7 points.
But for the second straight game, Holmes, who was held to 7 points in their loss last to Long Island Lutheran, averaging 24 points and 13 rebounds a game, only with 4 in the first half. That's the second game in a row that they've done a good job of shutting him down.
Yeah, we'll credit that with the defensive pressure from Baltimore Poly, and particularly the 6'10", 6'8", center Justin Lewis, who's signed with Marquette, just playing very physical when Holmes gets the ball.
But we continue to be very much impressed by Brandon Murray, the 6'5" senior who came into this game and leads scoring with 15 points, and 3 rebounds. There's a good look at his counter teammate, Justice Jackson, who had 7 points in the first half. Justin Lewis. And here is Brandon Murray with a nice touch, feathery touch up off the backboard.
Yeah, great job by Brandon Murray. Looks as if he's going to go to the center, then just floats to the lane for an easy layup.
Mamara, who's not normally a starter on this team. Michael Batchelor is a 6'2 senior who normally starts, but according to Coach Ty Admonson, he's not been producing. That's allowed Mamara to come off the bench and become a starter.
Nice job there by Justice Jackson, the point guard. He brings both players to him as he attacks the basket and then drops it off for the easy layup. There's Brandon Murray finding Justin Lewis, his teammate, for an alley-oop. There's a good look at Deron Holmes, one of the top 30 juniors in the country by ESPN.
And he's been seeing a lot of defensive pressure, as being one of the better players on that team. DeVries with a nice little scoop and score there. Back to live action. We're almost ready for the second half action. Again, 2 16-minute halves here at the Beach Ball Classic. Lane Harris and Wayne Gray proud to be bringing you this action here. We started in this tournament at the same time. I was a broadcaster for WCOX Cox Cable back in 1983 when we came down. Kathy D'Antoni, the sister of Dan D'Antoni, who started the tournament back in 1981 at Coastal Carolina University, and you were a sophomore at Myrtle Beach High School that year in 1983. And I remember some great teams. I want to say DeMatha was there. I want to say L.A. Crenshaw. Some of the other teams, Wayne, your memory's a little bit better than mine. I'm sure you played against them. You would know them better.
Well, in '84, I played against DeMatha. That might have been the best team complete basketball team that I recall seeing in the Beach Ball Classic and certainly playing against. It's incredible the amount of talent that has come through here. I mean, clearly some of the best players in the world, one being Kobe Bryant, who played here in this convention center.
And that DeMatha team, Ferry, Gerard Mustaf, Chris Gwynn, bunch of big-name players. They throw the ball inside. The Tigers try it, but Lewis comes away with a steal with his 6'8 frame.
Yeah, nice job by Justin Lewis to front Deron Holmes to make the steal, but Millennium in the man-to-man.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Lindsey. He missed his only 2 3-point shots of the first half. He's been a pretty dead-eye shooter for them. Ali drives in. Nice little soft touch off the back of the rim. No good. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Looked like Evans knocked that ball out of bounds, but they're going to say it was knocked off by Mamara. It's going to maintain possession to the Engineers.
Yeah, motion offense for Baltimore Poly. Just 4 guys out. Just pass and cut. That creates opening lanes down the center of the court.
Boy, look at DeVries and Lewis going at it in the low post. DeVries giving up about 4 inches. Ali with a wide-open jumper from the wing. Up and good. And Baltimore Poly pushes their lead up to 16, their biggest of the night.
If they shoot the ball that way in the second half, it's going to be very tough for Millennium.
Mamara did not see the double team coming from behind him, but they're going to get a foul call here on Bryce Lindsey, the sophomore. First team foul of the second half against the Engineers.
Yeah, and Coach Sam Brand just kind of raises his hand in disgust at his players. Says, why go make that foul? Go trap. We don't have to foul.
Zach Foster, Caleb Bright, again coming in tandem into the Tigers lineup. Jackson with a quick behind-the-back dribble. Gets it over to DeVries. Holmes had it out front. A great matchup there with Justin Jackson and Ali.
Yeah, Raheem Ali puts a lot of pressure on the ball out on the perimeter.
DeVries puts it up on the backboard, and it falls through for good, averaging 12 points and 5 assists per game. DeVries now with 6.
And they're asking him to play against Justin Lewis. Good job, good help from Deron Holmes, but
Lewis goes up for the slam, gets his own rebound. Baby hook up, no good. Holmes can't get it away from him. Lewis comes away with it again. They're going to call a jump ball. And Coach Sam Brand is doing jumping jacks on the far sideline, trying to get a call.
Yeah, possession stays with Baltimore Poly, but Justin Lewis adding to his stats. I believe he had 3 offensive rebounds on that series.
Wayne White will have that thing upgraded in no time. Lewis controls against DeVries. Elevates for a high arcing jump shot. 3 in the corner, no good. Ali gets it back to Lewis, who can't finish at the top of the rim. Jackson comes away with the rebound for the Tigers. They push it quickly down the court. Jump shot from the corner, short by Wright. He gets his own rebound, kicks it back out front to Jackson. Inbounds pass, trying to get it in. Early steals it. Gets it ahead to Ali, and they're going to call a foul on Zach Foster. I thought they were going to call a walk on Ali. It looked like he took 3 steps. He was going to drop that ball off to the big man, Justin Lewis, for the slam.
Well, great foul there by Foster, because if he wasn't, that ball was coming back to Justin Lewis, who was streaking down, and it was going to be a nasty slam dunk. Baltimore Poly up 14.
Murray inbounds underneath the Engineers basket out to the freshman. Foster has the tough defensive assignment. Ali knocks down his 2nd straight 3, and this game is up to a 41-24, 17-point lead for the Engineers.
And Poly really knocking down their threes. Millennium's going to take a timeout. Good decision there by the coach.
Coach Ty Edmondson, who played his college ball at Fresno Pacific. It's the first 2 losses of the season before they lost their 3rd game here at the Beach Ball Classic back on Saturday to Long Island Lutheran within the Illinois Elite Showcase Tournament they played earlier this season. The strengths of this team, these kids love to compete, according to Coach Edmondson. They have great chemistry, and they've been playing together since they were in the 7th grade. And they're in the 5A ranks out in the state of Arizona, from Goodyear, Arizona. They are a public school. And last year they had a 22-7 record, made it all the way to the state finals before losing in the state championship game, and they're hoping to get back there again this year.
I don't recall them being in the Beach Ball Classic before. I think this is
their first year.
The same with Baltimore Poly. I'm not sure I recall them being here before.
2 first-time teams. Don't get a chance to see that much. We have a lot of repeat offenders, as we like to call them. Once these guys come here to Myrtle Beach, they always try to find their way back. Nice backdoor cut by DeVries. He goes up, blocked from behind. They're going to call a foul on the freshman, Kwame Evans. That looked like a pretty clean block from here.
He showed that he was a freshman, where you never turn your head to your offensive man, and he did. And great cut, backdoor cut by number 5, DeVries. And he responds with a block shot, but gets called for the foul.
And Foster with a nice backdoor pass. Got it down nice and low, bounced it down there, and DeVries misses the first free throw. And makes the second.
Now Millennium will pick up in a full court zone press.
Get it ahead to Lewis. He's double-teamed right across the half-court mark. Kwame Evans with a left-handed pass in the corner.
Good ball movement, very good patience.
Engineers are being very patient, and they are passing the ball around, making this Tigers defense work. A nice steal, knocked into the hands of DeVries. He gets it ahead to Foster, who lays it up and in. 41-27, 14-point deficit. Here come the Tigers' pressure. Ali gets into the center to Evans. Lewis with a long jump shot, back rim. The freshman pulls down the rebound, resets the offense. Gets it back over to Ali.
Millennium will stay in a 2-3 zone. They're going to have to start putting more pressure on Baltimore Poly. They'll just take their time and move the ball around the perimeter.
Raheem Ali gets it over to Lewis. A nice head fake by Brandon Murray. Left-handed layup off the back of the rim. No good. They're going to call an offensive foul as number 4, Caleb Wright, steps in there and draws the charge.
Good move by Murray. Faces the basket. Pump fakes. Gets the defender off the ground. There, maybe just one dribble and then pull up from about 4 feet out of the basket instead of floating into the basket, which normally is going to lead to a charge.
Second foul on Murray. 3rd team foul here in the second half against Baltimore Poly. Millennium only with 1 team foul. Jackson and Foster play pitch and catch and get it across the half-court mark. Down in the corner to Wright. He goes baseline, tries to get it inside to Holmes. Ball stolen away by the Engineers. And here they come. Big bodies. Brandon Murray, layup good.
All started with the defensive pressure by Ali making the steal. Defensive pressure and fast break leads to good offensive teams.
Foster goes inside on the freshman. And they're going to call a travel on Foster as he tried to gather himself from pressure from Ali. Turnover by the Tigers, and Foster saying, I got hit.
Yeah. He comes to a jump stop right there at the block, but too many extra steps.
Trying to get a sub into the game, or the Tigers. Edmondson's trying to get in number 3, Michael Batchelor, the 6'2 senior. He's coming in to replace Zach Foster, normally a starter on this team.
I'm just looking at the feet of number 12, Kwame Evans, the freshman from Baltimore Poly.
Man,
those look like
18.
size 14s.
That's a bit bigger than that. Cross-court pass over to said freshman. And gets it back to the senior guard, Ali. Kind of a kind of a matchup zone, looks like, by the Tigers, and a wide open jump shot. Evans knocks it down.
And we have Justin Lewis at 6'10", able to catch it at the high post and turn and face the basket. They have to collapse, and then he finds the open man with a skip pass to the freshman Kwame Evans.
DeVries with a right-handed dribble gets the ball knocked away from him by Ali. Going to take us to our media timeout. 11:36 to go here in the ball game. Baltimore Poly starting to stretch their legs with a 19-point lead, 46-27. Back with more of the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic on Stadium. You're watching live on Stadium, the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Sun Fun City. Inside the Lambeau Schwartz Arena here at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Millennium Tigers find themselves in a 19-point hole to the Baltimore Poly Engineers. If you wonder where Millennium High School is, it's in Goodyear, Arizona. I was actually out in Yuma for Christmas, drove right past Goodyear on the way to the airport at Phoenix to fly back here to call this game. And my stepdaughter Hannah and her husband Stephen, granddaughter Emma, went to the Clemson-Ohio State game, which was a 29th straight win for the Clemson Tigers against the Ohio State out-of-luck eyes. 29-23 win. Charge foul against the Tigers. Going to turn the ball over to the Engineers.
Great defense by the junior, Raymond English. He knew that the Millennium player was out of control as he was penetrating down the lane. Takes the charge. The difference in this game, when you look at the stats, Lane, 12 turnovers now for Millennium. Poly's got 21 points off of turnovers to only 2 to Millennium. And while they're shooting equal percentages, Millennium's got 37 shots to only, Poly's got 37 shots to only Millennium's 26.
Leading the way, Brandon Murray with 17 points. Justin Lewis with 11, and Raheem Ali, after 2 back-to-back three-pointers, has bumped up himself into double figures with 13 points. Justin Lewis looking for a double-double with 11 points now and 7 rebounds. He hit the free throw line. Good look at the 6'8" senior. Front of the rim, no good. These teams just continue, and all the travel, all the practicing, and all the things they do. I'm sure it takes a lot out of their legs, and as you know, legs at the free throw line is where a lot of your strength comes from.
Coach Brand has really substituted well for this game.
Holmes rips down the rebound. Long baseball pass ahead to Shorts is knocked out of his hands, controlled by the Engineers. Raheem Ali with a no-look pass inside to Murray. He kicks it back out, and we restart the offense. They're going to call a travel call on Raymond English, the 5'10" junior. Turnover for the Engineers. 46-27, 10:52 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, great call. He was out of control when he got in the middle of the lane. What does he do? He picks up the ball and gets in the air, and then he has to go back down.
DeVries comes against the pressure from Ali. Gets it cross court to Jackson. Thinks about a three. Toss it over to Early. They move the ball well against the pressure. inside to Shorts. He can't get the ball above his head to get the shot up, but they're going to call another foul on Ramon English after the turnover. That's going to send Justin Shorts, a 6'4" sophomore, to the free throw line.
Millennium just doesn't have the outside jump shooters that I think is going to allow them to get back into this game. They're only 2 of 8 from the three-point line to compare to Baltimore Poly, which is 10 of 20.
But you made that point, Wayne Gray. Wayne Gray was with 9 offensive rebounds. That's turned into 11 more shots at the basket for this Engineer team, and I think that's the difference in the ball game, along with what you said, the points off of turnovers being a 21-2 margin. Baltimore Poly now with an 18-point lead. Shots up and good by Shorts. Cuts it down to a 17-point lead.
Millennium in a 2-2-1 zone, full court
press. Got to do something to kind of push the action here, but there's a turnover. They get it ahead to Jackson. He goes inside, throws it up on the left hand, draws a foul against Josiah Lamoth, 6'3" senior.
2 turnovers in a row there by Raymond English, and while he does a good job of breaking the press by dribbling it, really the way you break the press is by moving the ball in the air, passing it forward, finding him in the center of the court.
Interesting that after those 2 turnovers, Brand didn't you don't see a sub coming up off the bench. You got to think. I know if Wayne Gray turned it over twice in a row, his coach would.
I'd take myself out.
10:23 to go. Baltimore Poly has it down to 15 points.
Nice advance pass.
That's the way you do it right there. High arcing alley-oop pass. Slam dunk for Lewis.
That's pretty exciting to watch. I mean, that was a great bounce pass.
Steal away, left-handed layup. Nice steal by English. Trying to earn his playing time back. Draws the foul on Jackson. That'll send Raymond English, 5'10" junior, to the free throw line to shoot 2. Baltimore Poly back up by 17.
But late on that previous offensive series, Darren Murray passes it ahead. Nice bounce pass to Raheem Ali, who finds Justin Lewis streaking to the basket for the alley-oop. Great execution of how you break the full court press.
Another missed free throw by Poly. Making another one. 10:08 to go. Millennium sticking in there. Beautiful cross-court pass. Early up for the easy layup. Beautiful pass that time by Deron Holmes.
Deron Holmes head up, finds a streaking teammate.
Get it in the middle. Break the trap. Nice pass by Murray in the corner to Lamuth.
Millennium falls back into a 2 zone. They know they're going to have to get, there it goes. There's pressure by man-to-man.
Couple of subs getting ready to come into the game. They get in the middle of Lewis. He drives inside, throws it up off the backboard, taps in his own miss, and they're going to get a foul call here on Robbie DeBaraz.
Also, what they've decided to do is they've decided to take Deron Holmes off of Justin Lewis because he just doesn't have the physicality. But the difference is that the other guys are 4 or 5 inches shorter.
Zach Foster comes back into the game along with Justice Mamara, replacing Jalen Early and Justin Shorts at the free throw line. Justin Lewis. Nigh arcing free throw. 3 straight free throw misses now by the Engineers. 17-point game. Millennium, they can get hot. They can make a game of it. Running shot in the middle by Holmes is off the rim, no good. Ali comes away. Looked like he walked. Lewis going to give it to Ali for a wide open 3. Nets.
He's knocking it down. You can see the frustration on Millennium setting in. Didn't really get back on defense. Very poor transition defense.
Holmes tries to knife between Ali and Lewis and draws the foul. It's going to be the 6th team foul. Couple of subs coming in. It's going to be number 20, Adam Walden, the 6'10" sophomore. Number 12, 6'8" freshman. And number 3, a 6'7" senior. 6'8", 6'7", 6'10".
Coming off the bench.
Coming off the bench.
Sophomore and a freshman, and the freshman has already received offers from several different places.
They grow them big here
Virginia
at the Beach
Tech,
Ball
DePaul,
Classic.
and Auburn. There'll be more to come in his high school career.
No wonder Baltimore Poly's won 3 straight state championships. Engineers go to a zone. Air ball. Zach Foster on the 3-pointer. And the Engineers can take their time.
Woo, he traveled right there.
Brandon Murray out front against Mamara.
See?
Gets it down to the low block to Lewis, who's guarded by the shorter Foster. Fadeaway. Nice touch.
You know, I've seen him do that the 2 previous games. That is not a bad shot for him. You know, particularly when the guy that's only is 5'10", just spin, elevate over him, and Got plenty of room to take a shot.
But nobody, he's not going to block it.
Right.
He's not even going to get a hand in your face when you're 6'8". Jackson gets it over to Mamara. Back out front to DeVries.
Poly falls back in a 2-3 zone, but they got great pressure.
And they're active, and they're moving their body. DeVries inside. Nice open slam for Deron Holmes.
And what opens that up is penetration against the zone.
55-35, a 20-point game. We are halfway through the second half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Holmes. It'll maintain possession for the Engineers.
Down 20 with 8 minutes to go. This is where Millennium's going to have to start exerting some pressure, but I'm afraid they just don't have the athletes and the size to.
Jalen Early comes back in, replacing Zach Foster. And he'll get to guard one of those 6'7", 6'8" guys. Early comes in at 6'4", has a little bit of size on his own. The freshman for three. Good. Left-handed stroke, bottom of the net.
You know, there was a lot of left-handed guys that were tall and lanky like that came out of that Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area that went on to Maryland back in the 70s and 80s. He reminds me of the Adrian Branches.
Adrian Branch, John Lucas. DeVries with a three of his own. Lewis tries to go baseline, gets cut off. Kicks it in the corner to Murray. We got a foul call over on the sideline. I think that's going to go on Raheem Ali. No, I'm sorry.
It's going to go against Millennium. So
Millennium.
Sideline out of bounds for Baltimore Poly.
Lewis, the left-hander, freshman off the front of the rim, no good. Early picks up the rebound. Taken away by Mamara. 20-point lead. Jackson thinks about the three. Well guarded out front by Murray. They swing it over to Holmes. DeVries from three. Back of the rim, no good. The freshman pulls down the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Ian Wallace. Goes up. The backboard, no good. Just too many big bodies and a foul finally in there. That'll send 6'8" senior Justin Lewis back to the free throw line. That foul is going to be on Jalen Early. That'll be Early's third, 17th foul against Millennium, so Baltimore Poly will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way.
Baltimore Poly was in a 2-3 zone, but with the size that they have on the court and the length of their arms, it forces DeVries to take about a 25-foot jumper. They grabbed a rebound, and the freshman gets it out quickly.
Well, 6'10", 6'8", 6'7", 6'5", 6'7". That's a big team out there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. This is a college-sized team right now for Baltimore Poly. And there's 3 Division I basketball players on the floor. Probably 4, maybe 5.
21-point lead for said Baltimore team. Jackson. And with that length, that zone defense just gets longer and pushes out and makes it difficult for you to get a shot off. They get it down in the low block to Holmes, and he has to reverse his field and get out. DeVries cuts inside. Early's going to try it inside, and just too many big bodies as he runs right into the chest of Adam Walden. Here comes the freshman Evans. Over in the corner to Lewis for three. Good.
Great find by Evans, the freshman, as he just penetrates down the center of the lane.
My brothers were here and saw the first 2 nights of the beach ball, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they said this Baltimore Poly team was something to behold. Oh!
And look, Brandon Murray makes a dunk and a stare down.
With no regard for human life. Brandon Murray with a highlight reel. Timeout for Ty Edmondson. The Tigers got to stop the bleeding here as this game is pushed out to a 26-point lead with 5:55 to go. And we see a lot of excitement. You see some of the best high school basketball in the country here the week after Christmas in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic is not disappointing.
Not disappointing at all. Some of the greatest players, greatest teams, and greatest coaches that come here.
Well, we had this timeout, Wayne. I mean, you've been affiliated with this tournament since you played in it back in the mid-'80s, and as a broadcaster with me for the last 25, 30 years calling these games. Who's your top 5? Who's your all Beach Ball Classic historic team?
Oh, my goodness.
I put you on the line every year. I'm always looking to see if this team changes each year.
No. I would tell you, I mean, now we're talking about high school basketball players.
High school basketball players.
And that doesn't mean they're going to be the greatest at the collegiate or professional level.
Right.
Kenny Anderson at point guard. Jeff Lebo at the 2 guard, Grant Hill at the small forward.
You got to put Kobe at the 4.
Kobe Bryant at the 3, Grant Hill at the 4, Danny Perry at 5. Although Kevin Garnett was a pretty good player at 5 as well. But I mean, I'm not even touching guys like Vince Carter,
Rasheed Wallace.
I mean, just there's
Jason
so many
Kidd.
that can go on and on and on. And I'm naming some older guys too. But just when I watch the way that they played versus, but we've seen some great players over the last 10 years as well.
Under 6 minutes to play, Baltimore Poly with a 26-point lead. DeVries gets it over to his teammate Holmes in the corner. His corner jump shot's no good. And the Engineers pull down another rebound. Get it inside to the big 6'10 sophomore, and he can't get away with a shot. Mamara gets it ahead to DeVries. He goes, drops it off to Holmes, and he dunks it in for 2.
Now,
nice pass by DeVries.
And also can't leave out Raymond Felton from Louda High School, the South Carolinian hit. Probably one of the greatest individual performances against DeMatha I've ever seen.
We're going to have to maybe make the top 5 a top 10 from now on. Lewis. Double figures. Double-double tonight. 21 points, 10 rebounds. Can't come away with that jump shot. DeVries gets it inside to Holmes, and Jackson's frustrated because he didn't get the pass.
Here's a highlight film.
Lewis mistimes it, kicks it back over to Ali for a long 3 off the rim, no good. Throw it ahead to Holmes. He's going to have his chance at a highlight dunk, but he's going to get fouled by Ali, and that'll send Deron Holmes to the free throw line to shoot 2.
You know, what I'll say about players is when I comment about players that played 25 or 30 years ago, the thing that, given there's so much parity in basketball because kids are playing it year-round, there's more players off of each team that are better. It would be back then you'd have 1 or 2 that were really good, and then you had the standard average high school basketball player. But you look at this Baltimore Poly team, there's 4, 5, 6 Division I basketball players out there on the floor.
Holmes off the front of the rim. Millennium only 7 of 11 from the free throw line. Baltimore Poly 5 of 13. Holmes with only 6 points, 11 rebounds in the ball game. Knocks down the free throw to get himself up to 7.
13 made threes for Baltimore Poly. Shooting better than 50% from behind the line.
Bryce Lindsey, sophomore, 6-footer with a left-handed dribble, comes across half court. Gets it over to Brandon Murray. Ali looking down in the low block to get it to Walden. Walden can't hit the shot. Rebound taken away by Holmes.
Great patience and set play, though, to get it to the big man in the paint.
Holmes' 11th rebound. DeVries can't handle the pass. Falls into the hands of Murray.
That is now the 16th turnover for Millennium.
Lamuth with a nice touch inside against the defense from Jackson. 66-41. It's a 25-point lead. Jackson loses the handle as he goes up for the jump shot. Ball's loose on the floor. Early swips it over to DeVries, and DeVries puts it off the backboard up and good.
Millennium half-court man-to-man, I think, resigned themselves to the fact that if they try to put pressure on this team, they just cannot stop them.
Murray hangs, air ball. DeVries comes down with it again. Gets it ahead to Jackson in the corner for 3. No good. Mamara says Jackson will try it again. This time it's good. Back to a 20-point lead. What was 25 is now 20.
There's your full court man-to-man.
Still get some fight in these Tigers.
They got to put more pressure on Baltimore Poly, but they're able to take their time and just be patient, allow time to run off the clock.
Murray hands it off to Lamuth. Lamuth to Ali. Ali drives right down the middle of the lane, drops it off to Walden for this 2-handed slam.
Yeah, just lazy defense there by Millennium. And it'll weave 40 feet from the basket and just allows them to get into the lane easily.
Holmes will jack up a 3 that's no good. DeVries over to Jackson in the corner to Early. Up off the rim, no good. Murray pulls down the rebound. And we are officially in garbage time with 2:39 to go. 68-46. Mr. Andrews says take a break. We'll do it. The 39th Annual Beach Ball Clash. You're watching it live on Stadium.
You wear many hats, and HTC knows what you need to keep the day running smoothly. You're an entertainment coordinator, appointment maker, and business superhero. You're a personal chef, chauffeur extraordinaire, and a trusted protector. No matter where life takes you, HTC keeps you connected by bringing world-class technology right here to Horry and Georgetown counties, because you are here, and so are we.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Stay tuned to Stadium or the BeachBallClassic.com website for the next broadcast of America's finest high school holiday basketball tournament, the Beach Ball Classic. Winners bracket games will continue. Join us for our next game, which features Dorman out of South Carolina versus St. Francis out of Georgia. Alan Smothers and Van Colm will have the call on that game, and it should be a doozy. This Dorman team is for real, Wayne Gray.
Three-time 5A state championships in the state of South Carolina, the highest classification, ranked 15th in the country by Max Preps.
It's been a long time. I think you have to go back to Eau Claire. Last time a South Carolina team won the Beach Ball Classic. I know Wayne Gray played on one that got into the finals one year. Was that your junior year?
That was my sophomore year. That was double dribble, 1983. We lose to Archbishop Malloy. Just outside weave here for Baltimore Poly as they've got substitutes in the game.
Whole new Millennium crew of bodies. Tyron Bethea, 6'5" senior, into the ball game. Lamuth for a corner jump shot. It's going to go up, no good. Hot flying through the air is Ian Wallace. He can't get the rebound down. Michael Batchelor gets it ahead to Wright. Wright's layup is off the front of the rim, no good. And they're going to say that that Lindsay stepped on the end line. Ball's going to go over to the Tigers. Under 2 minutes to play. It's a 22-point lead for the Engineers. Batchelor holds it high against Lindsay. Diving into the middle, Coleman Fields going to drive in there, misses the jump shot, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot two. Foul on the play by number 4, Montrell Jackson.
Wayne, looking at the stats that we got at that most recent timeout, again the difference. Baltimore Poly, 13 of 25 from behind the arc, 52%. Only 4 of 16 behind the arc for Millennium. 17 turnovers for Millennium. That's converted to 23 points off of turnovers to only 4 points off of turnovers for Millennium. So very efficient game for Baltimore Poly.
And if you can shoot 52% from behind the arc, you can shoot 38% from the free throw line and it not really hurt you.
Very true.
Batchelor gets the loose ball inside, and he's going to draw a foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. Michael Batchelor, the 6'2" senior, is these two teams, the subs. Caleb Hall, number 1, 5'11" junior into the game for the Tigers. Batchelor normally a starter for Coach Ty Edmondson. Batchelor gets his first points of the game to cut it back to a 20-point lead. Batchelor misses the second. Ball's in the hands of Bryce Lindsay, who speeds it across the half-court line. Drops it over in the corner. Time for some of these young players that don't get a chance to play a whole lot to get in there and make their mark in the Beach Ball Classic. And they're going to get number 21, Tyron Bethea, who drove to the basket. They're going to call a blocking foul on number 10, Zach Foster, and that's going to send Bethea to the free throw line. He'll have a chance to get his name scratched in the book.
Teams have enjoyed some great weather here this week in Myrtle Beach. It's been in the mid to high 60s.
It was 70 today.
70 today.
Couple more subs. Number 13 coming in for Dominique Allison, a 6'2 senior, and number 14, Dylan Majors, 6-foot senior. So Coach Sam Brand going to the very end of his bench here with 1:31 to go in the ball game, and his team sporting a 21-point lead. Diving inside for the Tigers, and no good. And Wallace pulls down another rebound. You look at the scorecard here in front of us, Wayne Gray. 3 double-digit scores, led by Justin Lewis with 21 and 10 rebounds, and Raheem Ali with 16 points, and Brandon Murray with 19 points. Got to start looking for our HTC player of the game so far. I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision and give it to Justin Lewis.
Yeah, going to be tough not to give it to him. I mean, he's had really a very complete game, 21 points, 10 rebounds,
5 assists, and 4 steals.
Yep.
That's an all-around floor game for a 6'8 cat. And he only played 26 minutes in this ball game, but he was too much for the Tigers to handle.
And he'll take his game on to Marquette next year.
54.4 seconds to go, 20-point lead, and Millennium's playing hard, but we're liable to spend the next 10 minutes of this ball game in the free throw line the way this one's going.
On 20, they're going to, they want to play hard and want to get aggressive. They're out there on the floor. They practice just as much as the starters do. So
Justin Short's in the game for the Tigers. Coleman Fields, Caleb Hall, Michael Batchelor. As the free throw is up and good. Dylan Majors gets a nice little round of applause from his teammates over on the bench. And that, I tell you what, that engineer can shoot some free throws. He knocked down 2 in a row. His teammates haven't been very good from the free throw line tonight. But Dylan Majors is. Batchelor, crossover, floater up off the backboard, no good. Rebound pulled down by Bethea. Gets it ahead. And it's officially rugby time. 37.1 seconds to go. 22-point lead for the Engineers.
And as those two players went to the floor, Sam Brand looked to call a timeout, and the ref, he's like, I don't really matter who gets the ball. I don't need to call timeout. Very good game tonight by Baltimore Poly. Aggressive defensively. They took Deron Holmes out of the game.
And they will advance to play Whitney Young for the 5th place championship in the Beach Ball Classic, and that'll be a great matchup. Whitney Young out of Chicago with some very talented athletes. Be a lot of high-flying antics when those two teams match it up.
Well, perennial powerhouse Whitney Young, they've made a number of appearances in the Beach Ball Classic, winning it in 2012. They're led by the guard, 6'3 guard that's headed to Duke.
That'll be a 3:30 game tomorrow if you're interested, between Whitney Young and this Baltimore Poly team.
DJ Stewart is that 6'3 guard from Whitney Young.
Engineers get it across half court. Wide open corner, 3 in the corner is no good. Offensive rebound taken down by Jackson. They throw it and Batchelor steals it. Tigers with an easy layup.
That should do it with about 5 seconds to go in the game.
And that's the way it'll end. 71-51, Baltimore Poly over Millennium out of Arizona, Goodyear, Arizona. Baltimore Poly will move on and take on Whitney Young, the 3:30 game tomorrow night. Great game, Wayne Gray, but you saw the cream rise to the top in this Baltimore Poly team with Justin Lewis, Raheem Ali, Brandon Murray, all in double figures, and just too much for the Millennium Tigers to put up with.
Well, it starts off with their defense, forcing 17 turnovers for Millennium, and then the 3 best players for Baltimore Poly, as you just mentioned, lead the way in scoring and rebounding between Lewis, Raheem, and then Brandon Murray, the 6'5 swing guard that, surprising, he doesn't have any basketball offers yet. I'm sure he's going to get some after this tournament. He's played very well consistently in the 3 games that Poly has played.
And also we're, Cliff Ellis is here from Coastal Carolina, I've seen coaches from BYU here on the other end. We saw Tony Bennett from Virginia here. Always a lot of nice time for coaches to come in. Whenever Krzyzewski and Roy Williams come in, though, the lines start forming for the interviews. And our player of the game, our HTC player of the game, is with Brian Schneider right now. No, he's not. Okay.
Well, you're right when you describe some of the coaches that come here, that are here, have been here this week, and as we move into the semifinals and the finals, you get more and more coaches. That speaks to the level of talent and the teams that are in this tournament.
Lane Harris and Wayne Gray. Stay tuned. Dorman out of South Carolina. Going to match it up against St. Francis out of Georgia. We'll take it over to our interview.
Dorman from Spartanburg, South Carolina. We mentioned in this broadcast earlier, 3-time 5A state championship. Also well known for their football and their baseball. Jack Jolly, who used to coach here years ago at Carolina Forest High School, went to Dorman and won a baseball championship there.
And if you drive by Dorman, I think it's on I-85?
No, it's on I-26 as you go into Spartanburg.
It looks like a college campus.
Well, they call it the University of Dorman. One of the largest schools in the state, with just under 4,000 students.
Now we're going to take it over to our post-game interview for HTC Player of the Game with Baltimore Poly head coach Sam Brand and where is he?
Justin Lewis.
Justin Lewis.
Senior that's headed to Marquette.
Thank you very much, Wayne Gray.
Coach, you got to be really pleased with your team, the way they came out, battled back after the first loss of the season. They didn't miss a beat in a tough matchup versus Millennium today.
Yeah, with the group that we have, first of all, it was going to be tough to handle a loss because we think we're good enough to beat anybody. So that was the first thing to get over. It took, full day to do it. But I have full faith in these guys. We got a group of seniors that put a lot of work in our program. They work at their game year-round. They take the game very serious. So I knew our guys would be motivated to come back in this environment tonight.
You mentioned those 3 seniors. They've won 3 straight state titles in Maryland. Justin Lewis, Brandon Murray, Raheem Ali. They put on a show today for the Poly team.
Yeah, when our big 3 is playing well, there's not many teams in the country that can play with us because the truth is we got a bunch of guys that can play, but those 3 guys, like you said specifically, are 3 guys that have played a lot of basketball together, had a lot of wins together. Ian Wallace is included in that group as well. But they're 3 guys that have played so much basketball, won a lot together, worked a lot together in the offseason. So to see them respond like that tonight, all 3, we said earlier, they have 14 assists between those 3 guys. All willing passers, all very talented and skilled scorers, all really took on the matchup defensively. Personally, I saw Justin did that tonight. Thought he was dominant defensively tonight, which when those 3 guys are playing that way and this guy plays defense like that, we're not going to lose.
No question. We're going to get along to the HCC Player of the Game, Justin Lewis. Justin, you put on a show, not only shooting the ball, but passing. You got your teammates involved today. What can you say about Raheem Ali and also Brandon Murray with the way they played?
Playing with those guys is very fun, and once we all going and getting buckets and hitting our open shots, is like nobody can stop us.
You score in variety. You really had your shot going. I saw the matchup with Deron Holmes. That was a big-time matchup, and obviously you showed out in the win. What got you going in today's win?
What got me going was the way we kind of played yesterday, and the day before, and I didn't want to have that same feeling. So I just had to get out here and play hard for my guys.
Coach Wojo and Marquette's got to be super excited about having you come on campus next year. What was it about Marquette that interests you in heading out to play for Coach Wojo?
Just the support from the staff. They see me a lot, and then they just stayed on my side through the good times I played and the bad times I had played. So.
Justin Lewis, one of the top forwards in the nation, put on a show. Poly with the win, and they're looking to complete it here at the Beach Ball and hopefully win a 4th straight state title. Poly with the win today. Back to you guys.
71-51 the final score. We'll be back here at the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic after this pause for the cause. You're listening to the Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again. where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.